Hey y'all, and welcome back to Beauty and Balance by JMB. I am Sarah. I have been a medical esthetician for the last couple years, and today we are discussing things that I would like to see left in 2023. Not all of these trends are items that have necessarily become popular in 2023. They were definitely popular, I'd say, throughout. However, I would really love to see these items just officially left in the past. Of course, these are all my professional opinions, all my personal opinions. Just because I hold these professional and personal opinions does not mean that everybody's going to agree with me. And if it is working for your skin and you are enjoying it, you can keep doing it. I'm not telling you you have to stop. These are just things that I would like to see stop. So, first off, at-home dermaplaning. I absolutely understand why some of you might be doing this at home. It makes sense. In clinic, this treatment would cost you at least $60, whereas at home, it's a fairly affordable razor, just a few minutes of your time, and you're good to go. The downside to this, however, is that you are using a razor for a purpose that it was not intended for. The eyebrow razors that a lot of people are using all over their faces are causing a lot more inflammation and, in the long run, causing more damage to your skin than helping. So, what can you do other than using a eyebrow razor over your entire face? You've got a few options, and it really depends on why you are doing at-home dermaplaning. If it is to remove the peach fuzz, I recommend taking just a regular razor, the same one you would use under your arms or on your legs. Use a different blade, whether it's switching out a blade head or getting a completely new razor, and use that instead. Yes, you are shaving your face, but that is essentially what you are doing with the eyebrow razor as well. However, using a razor that was meant for your legs is a lot better for your skin than to use the eyebrow razor. Your other option, if you are doing at-home dermaplaning for exfoliation purposes, is to get a proper exfoliator. You don't have to dermaplane to get good skin. Exfoliation is why people are loving dermaplaning, because it's that deeper exfoliation. So if that is what you are going for, go get a chemical or physical exfoliator. Obviously, I say stay away from St. Ives. There are, I'm sure, other brands that I would say stay away from, like Tree Hut, I think, might have one. But if it's got those really big particles, I would recommend not using it. I prefer a chemical exfoliant, absolutely, but again, that might not necessarily be what works for your skin. So choose whatever exfoliator works for your skin and use it 1 to 2 times a week. If you would like some examples or recommendations of exfoliators, I can do another video on that later. So, the next thing that I would love to see left in 2023 is this perception that we need to spend a ton of money and essentially break the bank in order to have healthy skin. You don't need to do that. I understand the concept of it, and if you are expecting to have perfect skin, then yes, you are going to have to spend a lot of money. A, because nobody actually has perfect skin, so to get as close to it as you are hoping to get, you're probably doing things like microneedling, chemical peels, regular facials, all of that. However, realistically, the only person that can afford to do all that are estheticians, where they can use their own supplies, or celebrities, or very wealthy people. If I were to calculate all of the things that I do to my own skin every year, it would be thousands of dollars. It would also be way out of my budget if I were to be doing the job that I was doing prior to being a medical esthetician. All that being said, if you are just the average person, you want to take care of your skin, but you don't necessarily have thousands of dollars to spend every year, that is okay. Not spending that money doesn't mean that you are going to have bad skin, it just means that you need to work within your own budget. There are plenty of estheticians that will do a skincare consult with you and recommend products that fit within your budget, whether they're professional or drugstore products. Most estheticians, I would say, will probably recommend products that you can pick up in clinic, and that is absolutely okay. That does not make them a bad esthetician. It is just because those are the products they're educated on, and that is that's what they do for a living, right? So they're going to recommend the products that they have an education on and that they know will get you the results that you are looking for, or at least help you towards those results. If you are looking for products that are drugstore products, more affordable products, that sort of thing, you can always ask for those recommendations as well. They just may not necessarily be able to give them to you, so it might be a bit of trial and error for you. However, it's not impossible. There is zero reason to spend money that you do not have in order to get healthy skin. It's actually not reasonable to say that you need to spend that money to get healthy skin. Last but not least is a topic that absolutely grinds my gears. Natural skincare. Whether this is preservative-free, clean, greenwashing skincare, or one trend that I saw, I think it was early this year, maybe it was late last year, the menstrual blood facials. None of that. Let's not do any of it, please. Let's just start with the menstrual blood facials, because I cannot wrap my mind around the fact that this is a thing. But taking your menstrual blood and putting it on your face puts you at a higher risk for a lot of infections, diseases, that sort of thing. You may not know if you have an infection or a disease going on down below, and you are now bringing that up to your face and introducing a lot of bacteria to a very sensitive area. You have a lot, like your eyes, your nose, your mouth, there's a lot that could go wrong down there. You could get an infection, and it's just not going to be pretty or comfortable. So A, don't do it for those reasons. And B, it's not actually effective. There is zero research to show that using menstrual blood on your face is going to be effective. The reason the PRP facial is effective is because you are causing micro wounds in the skin while microneedling the plasma-rich platelets into your skin. All of that is triggering collagen production and therefore making your skin look a lot more plump and younger and reducing the fine lines and wrinkles and all of that. It's not the platelets in and of themselves that are causing this change to your skin. They're helping, absolutely, but it's not just the platelets. So just using menstrual blood on your face is not going to dramatically change your skin. Alright, battery just died there, but we are back. Following along the rest of that, natural and green skincare. So, for a company to label something as clean, they do not necessarily have to follow regulation. There is nothing within Health Canada or the FDA that regulates what clean skincare is, which means each brand determines what clean skincare is for them. So for one brand, clean skincare might mean no essential oils, no preservatives, nothing that would not be in each individual ingredient already. For the next company, it might mean no preservatives, but we're going to use essential oils. And for the next company, it's no lab-designed items, nothing that was produced in a lab. However, we are going to use essential oils and we are going to use preservatives. So all of those companies are claiming that they are clean. However, they all have such different definitions that if you are looking for something without essential oils and you're going just based on the clean label, you might actually end up with a reaction because you use something with essential oils. Now, going for products without essential oils or without certain ingredients isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, following a green or a clean label does not necessarily mean you are getting the products that you want. It is much better to look at the ingredients in each product if you have a reaction to a certain item or a certain ingredient, and to determine whether each individual product has that ingredient rather than just go based off of the clean label. Another note to go with that whole overarching topic is that clean and natural does not necessarily mean better. what we need to keep in mind is that it is the dose that makes the poison. Obviously, there are some things like literal poisons where a small amount can cause fatal reactions. But things like water, we need water to live. You literally cannot live without water. However, you can also drink way too much and have a fatal reaction. So just keep in mind that natural and clean does not necessarily mean it is a better product. You need to determine what product is good for you based on what is in the product and how your skin reacts to it, and not based on a natural or clean or greenwashing label. As always, read the ingredients, learn about the products, and then go from there. It does take about 3 months to test a product. You might know a little sooner if that product doesn't work for you, but give these products a chance. Follow your ethics. If you don't want to use something that is not cruelty-free or isn't vegan, then don't use those items. However, make sure that you aren't caught up in the marketing schemes as well. That is my not so long list of items that I would love to see left behind in 2023. Obviously, it's not that long. There's, I'm sure, plenty of other things that people would like to see left behind in 2023. Please feel free to leave that below. Let's start that discussion. And if you want to see what I would like to see continue in 2024, or make a reemergence, or just start becoming popularized, look forward to next week's video where I'll be discussing that. Until then, have a safe week, and I'll see you next time.